box office, Jets claim their elusive Premier's Plate. A-League W final set for launch, and the Western Knights top of the pops in the NPLWA. Welcome to the Far Post Perth, powered by ID Athletic. Download the latest football catalogue, idathletic.com, and also Trio Homes. If you're looking to build, redesign, or renovate, triohomes.com.au. Blaine Treadgold is my name. Going around the table, Donna Jeffrays here. We forgot what you looked like.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How's things?
Busy.
You survived school holidays, so that's a start.
I survived my first school holidays with both boys at home. I don't know if I survived, but I'm here.
There we go. Neil Sherwin's with us. Welcome back.
Yeah, here again.
You'll be pretty happy with some of the football results this week?
Yes. Yep, quite happy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more, I'm sure. And James Renson.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Been busy as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Working.
Yeah, good stuff. No, keep you out of trouble.
Yep.
Let's get into it as we always do. Our good, our bad, and our ugly for the week that was. Donna, kick us off. What have we got that's been good?
My good is the Jets securing the Premier's Plate with, I believe, the youngest squad in the league.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure they are. Get onto that Reddit and Google that, but I'm pretty sure they are the youngest squad in the league. It'd be good to know. But I'm really happy for Mark Milligan because I really, really like him. He's a really nice guy, and yeah, kudos to them.
It's a hell of an achievement, and I'll let you in. They were part of my good as well, but just nobody saw this coming. It's a little bit refreshing, I feel, to have just someone different in a club that has been perennially a struggler for God knows how long, ownership issues, coaches, really struggling to connect with their local community. And, as I've mentioned before, it is an absolute football heartland up there, a hell of a history of football up in that Hunter region. So, yeah, no, it's certainly something that, as much as it didn't please me, I was happy for them to see them win it. Neil, where are you going with your good, mate?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are the obvious one, given what they achieved, the fact that they won a trophy at the start of the season as well. And there was a stat that went around that they were bottom after 5 games.
5 rounds, yeah.
So the rejuvenation, and it's a case of trusting the process, right?
Yep.
Pretty raw coach coming in, as mentioned, the young team, and they got them purring. But no, my good is I actually thought Glory played well at the weekend.
Yeah.
I know people were saying it was a boring game and whatnot, and it wasn't fantastic to watch, but I mean, yeah, their expected goals were just crap. They had less possession and all that, but I thought they were hard to break down. I don't think Sydney created too much. Matt Sutton played pretty well in goal, made some decent saves. I thought they looked more solid over the last few weeks, which is what had been mentioned. And considering the players that are either out or clearly not fit, those that played, I thought gave a good account of themselves. It's probably straw clutching, given how bad the season has panned out overall. But I think if you're to look at that game in isolation, 11v11 on the pitch, with Sydney having something to play for and Glory having nothing to play for, I thought they did okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the match. I was unfortunately on NPL duties across the majority of the weekend, but I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit deeper. But I mean, does it change your opinion about where they're at this season? Or
no, one game win or loss shouldn't do that. It's a sustained situation over a period of time, but they are unbeaten in something like 4 or 5 games now. They have looked more defensively solid, and they are missing key players. But they're undeniable. At the same time, they also create very little. They look crap a lot of the time, and the games are boring. So it's a case of which side you come out on.
Half glass full.
But I thought that going away to Sydney, they don't win there. They don't win at that stadium. It's been a miserable place they've been absolutely battered there countless times. So as 0-0 draws go, I was quite happy with it, and it was a nice point, as I said, in isolation. If they had something to play for, like playing for finals, or it was a spot riding on it, then yeah, I probably would be a bit more disappointed. But if you just take the showing for 90 minutes and the factors that were included. People will say I'm an Adam Griffiths apologist. I'm really not. Like, if he stays, he stays. If he goes, he goes. I won't lose any sleep either way. But I think you give a bit of credit to the team that went out there and played well, as I said, against a team who did have something to play for.
Sydney at home against the Glory, 17 wins, 2 draws, just 3 for the Glory in their history.
That's some stat.
Yeah. Overall, it is. If I can get this back, 30 wins, 9 and 6. So 6 for the Glory in their history against Sydney FC. It's terrible.
That's shit.
Give us Roland Ranson.
Again, Newcastle. In a similar way to how the Mariners have been the last few years, given where Newcastle were and the fact that they had their ownership issues at a very similar time to us, how is it that they are having success in the form of silverware, and yet other clubs that have far more resources like Perth Glory and Western Sydney Wanderers are just unable to do that, and progress seems to be somewhat elusive at those clubs. So, a huge congratulations to Newcastle. I think the way Mark Milligan is getting the team to play without a host of, let's say, well-known names on paper, like star factor. They're playing some outstanding football, and I think it's valid to be, in ways, comparing elements of what he's doing to what Ange did at Brisbane Roar. Definitely in how they play, I think there's some clear similarities, and an outstanding achievement. And I think it deserves far more recognition given where Newcastle sit in relation to the rest of the league. So yeah,
I feel that the difference is they've kept stability and they've added to that stability over the last 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel there's been wholesale changes elsewhere.
Well, I think
there is an argument about how important stability is.
He did inherit a fairly good, let's say, technical team from Rob Stanton.
Yeah.
So, look, defensively, I think Milligan has just sort of accepted, look, we're going to be quite open, but let's attack the crap out of teams, because, look, all the underlying numbers for Newcastle defensively are pretty scary.
Yeah.
So they're having to outscore their opponent, but they play that good and they just go, well, we're going to back our football in. Yeah. It's that kind of Ange way, in a sense, that it's got them the success that they thoroughly deserve. So, yeah, I've enjoyed watching them play a number of times this season, so congrats to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As mentioned, my good was the box office Jets. Outstanding. To win the cup and then win the league, and can they win the treble? Where are we at on that? I mean, are they as good a finals team head to head against some of these other sides than they are across the whole league?
Probably not. I mean, they've sort of stumbled with their form the last few weeks or so, and
but so have the teams below them.
That is true. I don't know. I do wonder, though, elements of how sustainable how they play is, though I would not be surprised if they ended up taking it all just because of the momentum and the good feeling around them in the league this season.
I think you look at the way they've played as well. It shows you that you don't have to be pragmatic to win.
Yep.
You can actually go and be a bit swashbuckling and exciting, and go to places.
That's why they're called the box office Jets.
You can go to places like Perth, where the old trope is it's a difficult place to play and the travel and everything. They came here and blew glory off the park. There was no excuse. There was no. It was like, we're coming here and we're going to play our style and brand, and we're going to live by the sword and die by it as well. And with regard to finals and how they go, I think Zach Clough coming back is potentially a huge in, and cliche, but like a new signing, considering they haven't had him for more than a couple of games. They're getting minutes into him now, and to bring in a player not just of quality but experience in a young team, that's a safe pair of hands to bring in a game where you might need to control it. You might need to do a few, where it is a once-off. You're protecting a goal lead, somebody who can dictate the pace of the game, who can play the right passes, who can calm the eager heads around them. I think somebody like that coming in is potentially a big one for them when it comes to finals.
I think Cam Burgess is arguably the pickup of the season.
Max Burgess.
Yeah, sorry, Max Burgess. Is arguably probably the pickup of the season for the Jets and across the league.
I've got no idea how they've made their midfield work, because it's literally all number 10s.
Yeah.
So credit to Mark Milligan, but it's another reason why they just play such outstanding football.
But you've just got guys like Clayton Taylor and Eli Adams, and these young blokes are just fearless. Like we've seen we saw them rip up Glory a couple of times.
Yep. Well, you only concede goals if the ball is in your half, right?
Yep.
So, if you've got a load of number 10s, that just means you're probably going to try win the ball higher. You're going to try play higher. I mean, Burgess is, yes, he's traditionally been a 10, but he's playing as a 6'8", right?
Yeah.
So he's playing a deeper role. He's not necessarily there to screen the back four. He's there to, it's like a quarterback role, right? He's there to initiate the play, to pick out the wingers, to get the ball forward quickly. And that's where, if the ball's in the opposition half, you don't concede. What's the point in having 3 number 6s?
Yeah.
You're just inviting pressure.
Yeah.
If you're just going to sit on the toes of your defenders. So they've the best form of defense is attack, is essentially what they've gone with.
Yep.
And it's paid off. Now, is it sustainable over a period of time? Probably not, because you'll get teams will find ways to get in behind you and beat you in different ways and beat your press. And also they're going to lose Rose as well, right? Who, I mean, he's a workhorse. I'm surprised he scored as many goals this season, but credit where it's due, and he's got his move overseas. So is it a system or is it a good group of players?
Has to be both.
Is what you'll probably figure
that
that
in the
out when they get picked apart.
Yep.
As they probably will be with some of the good young players as well.
And this is maybe a downside, and I'll still carry on with my good, but a little bit of a downside is you see this and you go, well, this team is good. Hopefully they do well in Asia, but then you come to this Asian time in 12 months, and it's a whole different side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And depth as well, because if you're competing on 2 fronts, it's what we want. We want the Australian teams to be doing well, but it is difficult for them, for some of the teams, resource wise and whatnot, to play twice a week.
I got a bit greedy. I just want to throw in a shout out for the NPLWA at the moment. It is an absolute cracking season. 7 games played, only 3 points separate first to 7th. It's really teeing up for a big one. And I will give a bit of a shout out to our Waziri boys for knocking off Olympic on the weekend.
Does that feel good?
Well, 4-1
result.
Getting done 4-1 in the
Yes.
cup, and I was down there throughout the week. And I tell you what, everyone was pretty nervy about going there on Saturday. They had 8 or 9 of the first team players out injured. They took a bunch of 23s up there. We didn't have a first team player on the bench, and just played out of their skins. And
Sounds like
and
the
managed-
Massey boys. No
managed
first
to
team
pinch it.
players on the bench. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so
Well, you went down to Madman Arena.
Spend some more money to buy for more first team players.
Madman Arena. I just can't.
but yeah, no, it was just an outstanding effort and a big away win. So, but
Yeah,
overall,
no, that's
overall, the
that
NPLWA
league
is
is-
flying at the moment, and
that league is
plenty of
tight
interest.
The
Keep us
NPL
going with your
men's.
bad.
My bad is, and I didn't watch the game, but I saw this highlight was Ryan Grant's 2-footer tackle
Ooh.
on Sam Sutton. Now, this guy is a repeat offender.
Repeat offender.
When he just walks away with a yellow. Now, again, I didn't watch the full game, but I watched this because I kept watching it on repeat, and I was like, I'm like, that's a red card all day, every day. So I just want to know, did the ref explain? Do they come back and explain this? Because I saw it and it's a red. I'm not sure what you guys think when you saw that tackle, but it's definitely not a yellow in my book.
It looked pretty ugly on
2
the
foot.
on the replay, especially. So yeah,
Stud showing.
Sherwin?
The justification is he got the ball, but nowhere in the laws of the game says that you can't commit a dangerous foul
And still get the ball.
and get the ball. I mean, I think and it ties in with my bad, because my bad was Gabriel not getting sent off for Arsenal against City for the headbutt on Haaland. And I think both players were saved by the reaction of the players that they made the infringement against, because if Haaland goes down from the headbutt, it's a straight red. The referee, sees it as a headbutt. He's assaulted him. He's done all. But because he kind of pigeon-pecked him and Haaland just stood there and went, what are you doing? It looked lesser than it was. And I think Grant's as well got a touch in the ball, and also something didn't roll around for half an hour. I think if he does, it becomes a lot more serious of an offence in the eyes of the officials.
It's a little bit like the old question: do you have to go to ground for it to be a penalty?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Haaland said after his incident. He said, "I'm not going to go down unless somebody actually knocks me down, because that's just not. I'm a big boy. Like if somebody does that, but at the same time, that is a red card offence, right?
Yeah.
To stick the head on somebody. And for me, Grant's 2 feet off the ground, whether he touches the ball or not, it was up the leg. It was it was all the things that you think would be an upgrade, right? I can see why the ref gave a yellow card in the moment, because he probably saw the ball, bit of contact, the ball went off to it in a slightly different direction. But and I know VAR is not there to re-referee, but clear and obvious error. Was it a clear and obvious error on the referee's part? That would be the question.
Yeah.
If VAR didn't deem it a clear and obvious error, they wouldn't have got him to look at the screen. Possibly the same with Haaland. I think the difference probably with the Haaland incident was the referee was probably afraid to give a red card in such a big game because of the implications, not just for that game, but a violent conduct is 3-game ban, and Gabriel's ruled out for 3 of the 5 Arsenal games that are left. Both are red cards for me, really, in this day and age. I mean, back in my day, not even in my day, 30 years before my day, that was par for the course. Vinnie Jones chopping lads down, Norman Hunter, Graham Souness just lifting people out of it.
Play on.
And the guys just bounced back up. But the way things are now, both were bad refereeing calls because all it's going to do is encourage the next person to roll around. Roll around. Because to your point about penalties, if you don't dive or you don't make a meal of it, you aren't going to get the decision.
No, and that's how it feels.
And it shouldn't be, because that is simulation, right? If you've just gotten a tap in the nose and you throw yourself on the ground holding your face, that's simulation. You should be booked. But players are like, well, what choice do I have? The referees aren't even going to look at a replay when it's pretty clear. So both incidents should have been red cards for me.
Yep. Keep us going, Renton.
Mine's a little bit niche, but Catania. So obviously Glory's sister club, courtesy of the Pellegrini Group ownership. It's been interesting seeing how they've gone the last month or so. So they initially had their coach, a guy called Domenico Toscano. Catania at the start of the season were flying, and then they fell off. They sacked Toscano. They brought in this guy called William Vialli. He only lasted about 29 days. They sacked him, and then they brought back Toscano. And they had a game yesterday, and they drew 1-1 against a side called Pontenza. And they're currently 12 points behind Benevento, who are first, and Catania are now in a bit of a dogfight to stay in the automatic promotion area, or not the automatic promotion area, but the
playoffs.
For the playoffs, so they've lost that. So they've got Atalanta's under-23s for their next game, or their final game. But it's an interesting case study because there was that article that was done in the Sydney Morning Herald with Vince Rigari talking to Vince Grella. Who was sort of going like, I don't understand how the people of Catania are not treating in ways, and I'm paraphrasing, but saying that Pellegrini is almost like a god because he's put $50 million into Catania. So I don't understand Catania, because it's like, you know, they have these big, bold aspirations like, we want to be in Serie A, or this year we should have been in Serie B, but we're still stuck in Serie C. So, I just think it's amazing, but it's sort of part and parcel of Italian football in ways, though. I just think it's not really a surprise that you've got two clubs that are quite dysfunctional in ways when they've had potential but just couldn't seem to secure it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'll have to go back and have a look at that article with Vince Grella. I did see it pop up, but I didn't click it. Where are we? My bad, or I guess an interesting one to watch, is Canberra United. There was a piece with Michelle Heyman over the last 24, 48 hours. They go into this week in elimination final against Melbourne Victory. But Michelle Heyman basically came out and said, look, this could be the last ever fixture for Canberra United because their future just simply isn't guaranteed, either for the women's program or any potential men's program. Capital Football has said we're not going to fund Canberra United anymore. They've pushed on to the ACT territory government to try and get some funding out of them. Nothing's coming to fruition there. There was whispers from APL to say, hey, we may have a consortium together. That's all gone radio silent. Someone was saying today that the Capital Football ACT government is paying almost $3.5 million to try and put money into the Greater Western Sydney Giants.
The issue that the group that was propping up the women's team was not going to be funding them beyond this season, wasn't it? That article
but
came
that's
out.
Capital Football.
So that's them, right?
That's Capital Football. So that's the state, the member federations.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
As that side as well.
It's like when Football West own Glory women. A similar situation, which was not sustainable.
It's possibly a little bit reflective of what's happening with ACT football at the moment. We saw the downfall of Gungahlin United, who was one of the most successful NPL sides over there. We saw Ugali, who is actually based in New South Wales, but they play in the ACT NPL.
Yep.
They've gone under as well. So
The men's bid as well for Canberra.
Yeah, there's some real issues happening within that region at the moment.
But it's time they either, and maybe it's calling bluff, right? Because every last bit of expansion has been, we need to go to Canberra for a men's team. We need to align them with the women's team. We've been so successful. And they haven't.
No.
So now it's a case of, well, we're not funding it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't want to lose the team, you give a men's license and you get an investor in and you do it properly.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't blame necessarily the association.
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that there is a terrible situation. At the end of the day, we need more profitable and sustainable football clubs than we don't. So,
well, we need one in Canberra. There needs to be a Canberra United in the ACT for the region. There needs to be a professional club for the pathway through that area. Yeah, it's that simple. And I would say the same thing about Tasmania. They would have been they're the two areas that, again, gone way back. I would have gone there instead of Western Sydney and MacArthur, but they fished where the fish are apparently, and Western United don't exist anymore. So going well. But I would have gone with those two because of where you need the growth. You need the aspirational team. I mean, Auckland has been a roaring success so far. It's been really good. But it's not in Australia, so
Well, I mean, this is why I go back to the point that why don't we just do this organically? Why do we need to keep coming up with new clubs when there's existing clubs that are already half built? Yeah, they need a bit of tweaking. They need a bit of refinement. They need to work on their governance, their financial.
Who does it in Canberra? Who does it in the ACT?
I'm not necessarily saying them, but do we open a free market? Is what I'm saying, and let the strongest prevail.
I wouldn't do that until you've hit all the top areas first. That'd be me. I would be making sure that all all the top catchment areas,
and that's what I'm asking. Does it need to be maybe a mixture of? Yeah, do we let some of the?
I would get your 14 to 16 in, and then if you're expanding the league to 20, it's the 4 best positioned and ready to go and financially stable, or the ones that get promoted. If you're going to go down that road eventually. But in the short term, if you're handing out licenses, I mean, Canberra has to have a men's team to align with the women's, or the women's team dies. We're at that crossroads now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Pointless.
And Tasmania should have happened a long time ago because they've now got the leg up with AFL. So it's probably they missed the boat on that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Interesting times. Let's go around our uglies, Donna.
It's an ugly, but not it's a weird ugly. So Nunawading City had to wear England jerseys in the VPL.
You can stop there. That's as ugly. It gets
against Malvern City after the officials deemed that their kit was a clash. Now, you listeners can't see it, but this is the kit clash.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right now, Football Victoria approved it, said there was no clash at all, but the officials deemed it. The reason they had England jerseys there is because it was for some cup thing that they were part of the Nations Cup. So they had them on hand. It wasn't that they had went and bought 20.
No, because they were Kappa England jerseys. What is this?
So they had them there because of the All Nations Cup.
Surely they just forfeited rather than wear that rubbish.
No, they weren't going to do that for their supporters. They put out an official statement, but I thought it was a very random. Yeah, it was a very random choice. Look, and I'm not sure there's a huge clash between the light blue and dark blue there, but apparently there would be for these officials.
What colour shorts and socks were there? That would be my next question.
The shorts were for Malvern were light blue and Nunawading's were white.
Yeah.
So they got to wear their white shorts with the white England jersey, but they had to swap out their dark blue tops because that was the clash. Okay. Black socks, black and white socks.
I can see it. I can definitely see it. Why?
But I mean, come on. It's VPL 2. Let's
get on with it.
Let's just get on with it. Yeah. I can't believe they had to do that. I don't think I've seen it before.
Well, serious business. We've had lads not allowed to wear different colour tape on their socks at Sunday League level. They're enforcing the rules.
Different colour skins.
I knew the skins. Yeah, we've been sanctioned for those. And when the boys cut their socks and their jogger socks are showing and they're not the same colour. I've seen all of that happen. Yeah. But I thought it's not really an ugly, but it's
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, the ugly was the
Dumb.
England jersey.
Yeah.
I knew that would get you all right up there, Neil.
that was the ugly. Yeah.
Bait you through that one. Yeah.
Mine is, we think we have things bad at Glory, right? It's been a shit show for years, but have we had a fall off as bad as Western Sydney? Finishing spoon. It's like the spoon and the men, spoon and the women.
Neil, can I just say that by we, I mean you and I, tipped them to finish first this season?
I thought they were.
Western Sydney Wanderers,
I thought they were going to have a good year. They then picked up Ryan Fraser in the middle of the year, who's now linked with a complete defection to
Sydney FC.
So, is this the low? I mean, we've had lows. We've had hand them back license, and we've had everything else
salary
that's
cap
come with a salary
and
cap.
Rio guy sleeping under the table.
I mean,
we've had our moments. But in terms of a fall off from these guys were the poster
pinnacle,
boys of the league in terms of the atmosphere created, the crowds, the culture, the colours, the cock in Graham Arnold's mouth. I mean, they
That's one way to put it.
were the benchmark. And now look at them.
Why do we keep coming back to that, Neil? Just about every week they
now
get to
look at them.
mention.
It's
oh my God.
big tifo.
So, is it the biggest fall off?
It's got to be up there, surely.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
Because they're now getting crowds of 5,000 at Combank. God. I'll get into my ugly later, but yeah, they're a shit show.
Well, where do they go from here, right? Because but no matter what they do in the next 12 to 24 months, they won't get that buzz back that quickly. They'll need to win something. They'll need a coach that they like, because the one that they've appointed they clearly don't. They'll need players that they can get behind, and it's a long way back. It's a long, long way back for Wanderers compared to where they were at their peak. And I know their peak was 10, 12 years ago at this stage when they first came in, and they were given a leg up with the salary cap and the visa players and all of that. Yeah. So they couldn't lose in the first few years, and it was going to be a drop off. But this is because the appetite for Wanderers and football in that region is still there. Yeah. It's just now there's people voting with their feet. How do they get back?
I don't know.
It's been a question not for us now, because it's Wanderers. They can sort themselves out. But from and I don't buy into this that the league needs a strong Melbourne victory. Does it? Fuck, let them finish bottom every year for all I care. Same with Wanderers. You deserve to be at the bottom if you're at the bottom. We've done it for many years. Yeah. The league needs a strong Perth Glory. Well, if they got their act together, maybe the league would have a strong Perth Glory, right? So we've had those conversations. And the best rise to the top, and as it should be, but nobody's entitled to anything. I can't deny, however, that the optics of Wanderers being on a buzz is good. It absolutely is something that is beneficial to the league.
Well, I mean, this is all part of it, isn't it? And I'm just going to skip in front of James for a quick second, because my ugly is actually the situation at Sydney Olympic, and all the stuff that's come out with that at the moment. So, look, there's been some moves at constitutional level. The fans aren't happy with that. There was some very, very defamatory and disparaging comments made about Damon Hanlon, who has now sought legal action and has put out has gone through his lawyers, who released a statement today.
Some sport for statements, aren't we?
Oh, I reckon we love a statement.
Against the admins of this Facebook forum. So it's got really ugly as far as that. But at that level, at least there is a vehicle for change internally. You have your AGM, you can vote your extraordinary meetings, you can vote the board off, you can get rid of them, you can start again, where the consequences, whatever. And this is, I'll keep banging on about it, at A-League level, you've got no such rights, you've got no such feedback mechanisms or anything like that. Your only right of reply is to walk away and go, it's all fucking too hard, I'm out of here, see you later, and I'll be back once this club starts getting its act together.
Wanderers had a fan forum, and I was reading snippets from it and bits and pieces, and we've had them in the past, and I've sat through them, and it never felt like it was more so a case of. I think the last one we dialed into, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was online.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah.
online one, and I remember taking screen grabs of people's funny little pictures. There and on the Zoom call, their backgrounds.
Yeah.
But like delete club behind someone's head. but is that the answer to anything? A fan forum? Like, do we need another fan forum?
God,
But,
no. What do they do?
This is what I'm saying. Whatever you make of the fan forums, I think it's evident that you do need a mechanism of communication between the fan base and the hierarchy. But if there's no outcomes to be sought, then don't waste everyone's time.
They're a yawn fest.
But this one in Western Sydney though that happened last night was a train wreck by all accounts.
Oh, you can read the
comments.
you can read the transcript on the on X.
Yeah. So just to give the listeners a bit of context, so Paul Lederer made some comments that were not, and Paul Lederer is obviously the chairman and owner of Western Sydney. A few comments. He said that Ufuk Talay was the best coach in Australia, and the room proceeded to break out in laughter. He implied also that failure is not that bad because Western Sydney finished 4th once and 7th once in the last 10 years.
Well, this is like the golden spoon moment that Pelligra made last year's MGP. We're going to get the golden spoon.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he said that basically all the decisions lie with the coach because in every top club in the UK, for example, like in Manchester United or Chelsea, there's always a manager, there's no one else behind sort of idea. And he was saying he was speaking to Sir Alex to try and get ideas, and people just felt that Lederer came across as tone deaf, and that Scott Hudson, their CEO, just looked shattered, and that Mal Impabatiata, whatever his name is, it didn't exactly sound like that Talay was his choice. That was sort of the inference that was made at the forum as well. So
it's going to kick off before it's begun.
Yeah, so it just didn't sound like a happy place at Wonderland, and it's astonishing that a club of their size and their catchment is where they are right now.
I wouldn't say no to him, to Talay. I think he's a great coach.
But he's hardly going to say he's the shit coach, but it's all we could get. I mean, he's going to say he's great. He's a great coach. He's great in the league. He's proven with a couple of clubs. I think, and fans are absolutely right to laugh at that and go, yeah, right. It's like when, our signings are compared to Salah and the lads and the new Lizarazu. Like, you are entitled to clap back and laugh, and go, you're talking shite.
If he's not former Sydney FC though, do they get that reaction? I don't know if they.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like when Kisnorbo went to victory.
It's a really bold move in the situation that they're in now to take the coach from Sydney FC. Yeah. It is because, it could be a complete disaster and do more damage.
Yeah.
So, and Sydney will just have another leg up because their crap coach went and became even worse at the biggest rival.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Interesting times. Well, what we might do, ladies and gents, is we might take a quick break and we'll break down a little bit more of the A-League. We'll do it next. You're on the Far Post Perth podcast.
What a run! This could be the one! It's in! That's what it's all about! And when it comes to sports gear that helps you perform your best, ID Athletic has the winning formula. From grassroots clubs to elite athletes, ID Athletic provides high-quality sporting apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and made-to-order promotional products. Proud sponsors of the Far Post Perth and passionate supporters of WA community sport. Visit ID Athletic at 84 Howe Street, Osborne Park, or online at idathletic.com. ID Athletic. Build your identity.
Tired of the same old cookie-cutter home designs? Dreaming of a space that truly reflects you? Then it's time to talk to the team at Trio Homes. Whether you're looking to build your dream home, redesign your current space, or simply renovate, Trio Homes is committed to unique designs, local personalised service and quality workmanship. And with former Perth Glory star Dino Julbich at the helm, you'll know you're getting passion and dedication built into every project. Discover the difference with Trio Homes. Visit triohomes.com.au.
Welcome back to the Far Post Perth. Ladies and gents, let's chat a little bit of A-League. Let's start with the Glory, a 0-0 result with Sydney FC. We touched on this in our good, our bad, and our ugly. Renton, I'm going to throw it to you, mate. What did you make of it? Highs, lows, in betweens?
Take a clean sheet, particularly given our record at Sydney, and given that Sydney needed to get the 3 points just to improve their standing on the table and try and build a bit of momentum after a not great performance in the Sydney derby. But I think Sydney really could have taken this game to glory. I think there were ways in which they exploited our shape quite cleverly, and we didn't really seem to have a lot of answers to it. Though when we needed to defend desperately, we did. And as Neil mentioned, Matt Sutton did put off some really good saves. But I just think, again, we're left asking questions about where the progression and evolution of the team has been, because for as much as we defended well, at times we offered next to nothing in attack, and we seemed to go away from the positives of the game against Macarthur, where we played the ball underground, had some good combination play, and instead every time Brian Caltech or Scott Wooden would get the ball and they get their head up, Gabby Popovic and Jaden Kaczarski would be on their bike, stretching the pitch, and we just wouldn't have any sort of control. And that's reflected in why we had the second lowest XG in this game under Adam Griffith. So, yeah, again, I'm going to keep banging on that drum about how I don't think we've seen any sustainable or progressive steps with his game model. And again, it just in ways validates my reservations about whether he should be the coach next season.
I mean, we know it's not played on paper, but the stats suggest it should have almost been an easy win to Sydney FC. 64% of possession.
Yep.
1.54 expected goals, 17 shots, 4 on target, 30 touches in the opposition box.
Wow.
So there's that, but then there's also, Griff was sort of talking about intensity. So we did start with a good intensity, but we couldn't maintain it. And we had a very low passing per defensive action. So that's a stat that gets thrown around in Europe all the time. But we, on average, allowed 23 passes before there was a defensive action whenever Sydney had the ball. So that just reflects that we were pretty passive, or that we just couldn't get our shape into the right areas to win the ball, because sometimes we could get pressure in the right areas, but then we just wouldn't win the ball, and there would be moments where Sydney could find that outlet. And there was one moment that led to Alhassan Toure racing through when we were trying to press, and Sydney got out, and if it wasn't for Brian Caltech and his insane recovery speed, that probably could have been 1-0 for Sydney FC. So we dodged a bullet. But yeah, you just think, is there more that this team can do? I think there is, but I'm just not sure they're put in the position where they can be platformed to show more. So yeah.
Next week we're going to have a big roundup of the Perth Glory. We'll go through and give it a big old post-mortem. But we had a question this week, Neil. Have you got that there from John?
Nope, I don't have it.
Okay, sorry. I'll see if we can get this. I've got this.
Well,
and the question
I did ask you a little bit earlier on,
did,
but
Bob.
If you were
busy on browsing Instagram.
Okay, I've got this. I've got this here. So John sent this through. And as I said, we'll go through this a little bit more in detail, who we think is going to be around, who's not, who's going to be making way and everything else. He said, with the Lolly news, I've got a pod question for this week for the team. And this is all on the fact that the reports that Joe Lolly is, the club's still semi-interested in having Joe Lolly come out.
Injury.
And he says basically it's weighing up who you'd keep or replace from the players who are either linked previously or currently at the club. Let's go on the basis the cap remains next year with 2 allowed outside of it. So who would you want if we add Joe Lolly into this mix? So you got Joe Lolly, Adam Taggart, Tom Lawrence, Jamie McLaren, Tom Ince, Martin Boyle, Jason Cummings. These have all been mentioned over there, I guess, the last.
Jesus.
Jeez, that's a big pedigree right there.
It is. But who do you keep out of that? I mean, obviously, they're very different players.
They're all very different players.
I mean, but it branches to a question that Griff posed. Oh, not a question, but he mentioned it at the end of his press conference where he was saying we need to have a football identity, and then the recruitment follows through that.
Yeah.
So because I don't think we currently have one, then that question's almost irrelevant because we still don't know what direction we want to take.
Based on personalities,
I'd say for sustainability and someone that I'd say Jamie McLaren. Because home here, his
there is a
wife
link
is
here, isn't
there's
there?
a link here. His, sisters, everyone's here, family's here. So I'm thinking based on that.
Do you have him and Taggart?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't think personally Taggart will be there.
You don't think Taggart will be here next season?
No, I don't.
I think there should because I love Tags. He's been one of my favourite players for years.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the case with everyone, but there has been a noticeable drop-off in his form the last 2 years. And I think in terms of what the team needs moving forward, we shouldn't be opposed as a fan base.
Adam Taggart?
He'll be 33.
So, I mean, are we pushing India areas to maybe see if he can top up at the back end of his career?
Jamie McLaren? Same
Similar,
age?
Same age,
They're
pretty much.
similar
yeah.
age, right?
He's a year younger.
Is he? Yeah, okay. I'd say Jamie because of
maybe
his link to here. It makes sense for him. He's always here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need ideally Tom Lawrence fit, and you need a striker that's going to bang in goals.
100%.
So I know that's what we hoped we would get from Tags this season, and I think we've seen instances where Tags has not been given service and he's just looked like a frustrated figure, but we've also seen games where Tags has been given service and he's had some really weird, uncharacteristic misses this season compared to his previous years where he's been finishing those chances.
I think injuries don't help him.
Yes, correct,
He's playing
100%.
injured. He's not
Yeah,
100%.
he's not.
Yeah.
He's
I don't
coming
have
in
a-
without being 100%.
I don't have a preference on who individually we get, but we need someone experienced that's going to be that attacking mid type player.
Well, needs to make an impact. Yep.
Well, you need your players fit and available for at least 20 plus games, and we've not had that. Meanwhile, the best teams this season have had their better players available and fit for 20 plus games.
But we just haven't had that creative mid.
Well, and that's the thing. Tom was basically that when he was playing. So you've just got to hope that his plantar fasciitis will improve and that he'll be fit and firing and can have a full preseason in the proviso that we keep him.
Well, he was interviewed at the chairman's lunch, DT3 at match day, and he was asked whether he'd been offered a contract.
Yeah.
And obviously they're very vague, but he did say he let it slip that it needs to work for him to stay here. So I take that as what you want. He said he loves Perth, the usual spiel that these people give. They love the beaches, they love the weather, blah, 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 blah. But he did say it needs to work for him to stay here.
Well, because we probably sold him the project that this was the year that we were going to sort our shit out and climb up the table, yet here we are.
Yep.
So,
and he's a great player.
Yeah. When fit, though.
Yeah, when fit.
Yeah.
So's Tags and so's everyone else.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we'll go through a little bit more.
I'll tell you, I'm taking.
Yeah, go.
Oh, sorry.
Lawrence, 100%.
Yep.
No brainer.
Yep.
And Cummings, because he's the youngest of the strikers.
Yeah.
And has
That'd
a good
be
injury,
interesting
Has
how to work.
has a good injury record.
Is he still in India?
Yeah. He's with
McLaren.
Yep.
Him and McLaren.
Off
the two of them were here
Yeah,
for a game.
Off contract as well.
I've put two and two together now.
I would keep a fully fit and firing Taggart over.
Is that the same club David Williams was at? Okay.
I would keep Taggart if he was fit and firing because of the ties, the passion, captain, all that. That leadership can't be understated as well in a team that's trying to rebuild. So if he was 100%, I'd keep him. But I also like Donna. I don't think he'll be here next year. I think he might go for a little jolly somewhere and pick up a bit of cash, which is fair enough. And Cummings has done his jolly, made his cash. He's 31.
Made it very early.
Cummings on a 3-year contract to Glory would be good business for me.
Get on the phone stand.
I would
knock on some wood, man, because
I would genuinely. I would as a character.
Yeah.
The celebrations.
He's a good guy.
The interviews.
I reckon it'd be top notch.
He's proven in the league. To me, Cummings would actually probably be number one on that whole list for me. Out of them all. So if you're factoring in goals, injury record,
age,
played in the league, character,
personality,
age. So he ticks all those boxes for me. Yeah. And then I think when Lawrence was fit, he was unplayable. Mm-hmm. He was comfortably miles above the players around him. Like it wasn't even close. Yes, it was a small sample size, but you can tell a class player the minute he picks up the ball and turns.
Yep.
Yeah. This guy was amazing, right?
Yeah.
So if he can sort himself out and he wants to stay, and he said right if it works for him, because he's not going to be short offers. Now that he's done something in Australia, he's not just going to get offers from the East Coast, he's going to get offers from India, from other Asian countries.
Yeah.
So of course it needs to work for him. It's a payday.
Yeah.
And like in terms of coming to Glory, people will see Glory as a stepping stone to making money elsewhere, and I get that. They're not necessarily coming to win things. I mean, that would be nice, but you look at players that are out of contract in the UK, and it's the reason why so many of those players have come here. they go into a pool of like 600 players that are also out of contract.
Yeah.
Trying to get into like a League 2 club or a League 1 on a 1-year deal, and then they have to move the family from one pissing down rain place to another. Like, where's the glam in that when you're 31, 32, when you're offered a 3-year deal or a 2-year deal, or as this one was, a 1-year try before you buy, go to Australia in the sun, be a baller, and then worst case scenario is it opens up all the doors for you in Asia because your name is out there. Right? You're not just one of the 600 lads trying to get a contract. That's why we picked up players in the past, and players have come out this way. And it is our appeal in Perth. We can't offer them much.
No.
That's what I was
if we're
about to
honest,
say.
it's come out the lifestyle, come out here and be here, bring your young kids out. Bring that. It's why players, why the likes of Beavers came out, right, as well, right? With young family, because of the lifestyle. That's our selling point. But for me, on that list, it's Cummings 1, and then if you're taking you can't take 2 strikers. There's got to be a striker and a 10. And the 10, Lawrence is the standout there for me. So there.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. Any other thoughts on the Glory currently? As I said, we will have a full breakdown next week.
It will be interesting to see, because as usually happens, tongues wag at the MGP, and contracts are coming up, and there's people that will be leaving. But I also really want them to be in the background telling people that they want them to stay, and actually make them like Pennington.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Why hasn't he signed yet? Or why hasn't, maybe he doesn't want to. But the longer that goes on,
the doubt,
the worry, the concern from fans, like this is someone who is an absolute player we have to build around.
My thoughts are, I think Pennington maybe goes back to Italy. I do know that I think that his partner is expecting another baby. I don't think they've got any other family out here. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I don't know, but I'm just thinking that they go home for a bit of family support.
You need to keep your heavy hitters as best as you can. I know that's obvious in itself, but for us, we need to try and build something sustainable and ideally something that platforms our best players, and someone like Pennington, if he can be played ideally in his natural position, along with the likes of a fully fit Lawrence, and then good players around that.
I think before you start rebuilding this squad, because essentially a lot of them are out of contract, right?
There's a good handful,
Is Adam Griffiths the right person to build it, or are you going to keep him there and then he gets fired midway and then another coach comes in and inherits another squad?
That's the most likely scenario based on history.
That's just what keeps happening, right? So is it they bite the bullet, pay this bloke out, and go on their world?
Well, they don't have to pay him.
He's off contract.
He's off contract. I thought another one. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So
do you let him go or do you keep him? That's
we'll go into it more next week. But what I'll do is I'll plant the seed now with people of who's off contract. So you got a week to think about it.
Go.
And we'll go. Because this was really accurately put together. We got Cam Cook, Josh Risden, Zach Lisolowski, Nick Pennington, Brandon O'Neill, Luke Teveray, Will Franey, Lockie Wales, Adam Taggart. Go on, you're going to correct me. Tom Lawrence, Steph Kolikovsky. And is Joel Anasmo still? Yeah, he's just injured. He's contracted until the end of this season. Yeah.
Franny has another year.
27?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
And then Gabby Popovich is on loan.
Yeah, so he goes back to Catania.
So you're talking 10 plus on that list.
Yeah, wow. That's a big list.
Yikes.
Big list of players, potential big turnover. And then who do you build? And then you look at some of the other, right? Cal Timmins has barely played this season. He's contracted till 28.
Yeah,
there's some of the. And he's one of the longest that's in there.
Look, I think you can look at some of those.
Suleimani 27.
Yeah.
Labib's 27 as well. I'm pretty sure.
Osler.
Yeah.
The 27 Osler. Wow.
Yeah, he got extended this year. So look, there's plenty of potential moving parts. Possibly a couple of mutual terminations. But potential for high turnover, and to the point that Donna just made, if it's not Griffiths,
then who?
It's going to be someone who's going to come in and probably want to clear the decks and bring in their own recycled A-League players. And we start again.
We start
We do the whole thing again.
Yeah.
And we'll have old mate Gale.
Yo, we won't even have
on
to
us.
record podcasts next season. It'll just be play these ones back again as we go through the exact same
Change the
boom and
episode
bust
title.
cycle.
I've still got the recording, so
Yeah.
worry about it.
Oh,
Boom
no.
and bust cycle will just start
Oh,
all over
dear.
again. So that's where we can look at it a bit more next week. But there are some little positives of some of the players that have done well, but enough to build around.
Doubts.
I mean,
Save it for next week, Blaine.
yeah. I was
Keep the
just thinking-
gunpowder dry.
Keep it
the
there.
powder dry.
Keep it there.
Keep the powder dry.
Just do a little voice note for yourself.
All right, let's go through the other results from across. It'll keep me awake for a week. Why didn't I say that? Friday night, Melbourne victory 2, Newcastle 2. They didn't know then, but they did know come Sunday that they had won it. Wellington 2-1 over Western Sydney. Brisbane 3-2 loss against Melbourne City. Sydney and Perth, of course, 0-0. Auckland absolutely stunned at the cake tin. How good's the narrative around Central Coast getting the result to give Newcastle a title, and then they'll have to give them a guard of honour this week?
Get the cannons going.
Yeah, it is absolutely
Get
brilliant.
those sauce bottles
And
out.
on the Sunday,
Wow.
also Adelaide 3-1 over Macarthur. So, ladies and gents, heading into the final round, we do have Newcastle as premiers, Auckland in second, Adelaide in third, Sydney in fourth, Melbourne City in fifth, have overtaken Melbourne Victory in sixth, and that is our sixth set, not necessarily in that order.
I think that's a bad look for Victory, considering how shit City have been this season.
Yeah.
That was a really bad look for Victory.
Yeah.
I gotta say it
Have
again. It's a really,
pretty bad.
really bad.
It's pretty
look for
bad.
Victory.
It's pretty bad.
Have Victory been that great this season? I mean,
I honestly, if you told me 6
Honestly.
weeks ago that City were going to finish ahead of Victory, I would.
They were up to third at one stage.
And
over
City
the
were
week.
City were
Victory.
out.
Last week, the week
No.
before, they were
Was
third.
it?
Yes.
There you
City
go.
were
That's how
outside.
tight it is.
Were what, 7th or 8th or something, and you know, chasing MacArthur at the time.
It is a good advertisement for the league, though, that you can have your top six and only 8 points between first and sixth. I mean,
Very tight.
that's a pretty good advertisement for the league, and probably an argument for the salary cap, as much as I hate it, as far as keeping it together.
No.
But
Don't want to sell it.
Well, I've
Get rid of
I've
it.
been
I'd
salary
been salary
cap and
cap.
finals. So.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I'm with you.
But that's just me.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yep.
Free market.
Free market. Open the doors. Open the floodgates. Any final thoughts on the A-League week that was? Speak now, forever hold your peace. 3.
Just MacArthur's drop off.
Yeah.
Bad.
And
I had him as
Wellington's doing well.
premiers.
Good old Wellington.
7th.
Yeah.
Respectable, considering they sacked their coach
What
and
was their-
Well, he
uh,
resigned.
resigned. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he was good. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah.
before he pushed.
Yeah.
I mean, our predictions were
What was
they're
their
not that
form?
bad, but you know.
Whose were the worst?
So they won 4 out of
What
their last
idiot
5.
had Glory
Yeah.
making finals? Name and shame.
Jackson.
Glory making finals was
Blaine.
not Jackson. It was not you, Blaine.
Did I not?
No, none of us had them making finals.
Oh.
Counting them.
Well,
Yes.
None of us had them making them in the
Coming
top
for your
6.
job,
Jackson just outside the top 6.
Gary Neville.
But yeah, no one. Nobody. But, you know, a few of us had Blaine, you had MacArthur finishing
no.
top.
yeah, Blaine. What was that? I said
Neil
at the
and
time.
I on
They
Wanderers.
made a crack and then they fell away. They had a crack
Jackson
at it.
had Victory and James had Auckland finishing first, and not all of us bar Jackson had Central Coast last. That aged well. I'm sure Gail on X will tweet us after this podcast.
She will.
Whose multi is that? We're going to find out whose
we
multi
need to
is.
find out who that person is. And I'm sure she wants to do the predictions next year because she thinks we were way off.
Is that a she or a he?
They.
Don't
they,
assume.
sorry.
Don't assume.
Yeah.
Be they, shay
We're not
them,
allowed to.
whatever.
All right, let's go to a break. We'll come out the other side. We'll ahead to the weekend. You're on the Far Post Perth podcast.
What a run! This could be the one! It's in! That's what it's all about! And when it comes to sports gear that helps you perform your best, ID Athletic has the winning formula. From grassroots clubs to elite athletes, ID Athletic provides high-quality sporting apparel, screen printing, embroidery, and made-to-order promotional products. Proud sponsors of the Far Post Perth and passionate supporters of WA community sport. Visit ID Athletic at 84 Howe Street, Osborne Park, or online at idathletic.com. ID Athletic. Build your identity.
Tired of the same old cookie cutter home designs? Dreaming of a space that truly reflects you? Then it's time to talk to the team at Trio Homes. Whether you're looking to build your dream home, redesign your current space, or simply renovate, Trio Homes is committed to unique designs, local personalised service, and quality workmanship. And with former Perth Glory star Dino Julbich at the helm, you'll know you're getting passion and dedication built into every project. Discover the difference with Trio Homes. Visit triohomes.com.au.
Welcome back to the Far Post Perth, third and final part as we look ahead to another big week, ladies and gents. Look at round 8 of the NPL. We did speak about that a little bit earlier. Friday night, Bayswater v Perth, a bit of an Italian derby there. Saturday, Olympic v Western Knights. Armidale against Donna's mob at Stirling. Fremantle will take on Sorrento. Balcatta against Red Star, and Dianella White Eagles against Perth Glory. Good to see Western Knights top of the pops at the moment. That's a little bit refreshing as well.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see them up there. I think Perth did them a favour by knocking off Olympic on the weekend. So it's a tight league.
It is.
It's 4 points, I think, or something like that.
3 points between first and seventh.
Yeah, it's insane. So once again, it's great to see, and seeing a lot of young kids, come through the 18s and 23s. I think, with Perth and even at Stirling and Armidale, having all these young players come through that NPL setup, it's great to see.
Yep, no, good stuff. NPLW round 6. I don't have all the fixtures, but I kind of picked up match of the week to be Red Star v Fremantle. Fremantle leading the way at the moment. Only via, I don't even think it's goal difference. I think it's pretty much all locked up. Might have gone all the way back to alphabetical order type thing, if I'm purely honest. But just watch out for Freo. Red Star, I'm not sure about, but it is probably game of the weekend in the NPL Women's A-League Women's Elimination Finals. As mentioned, Canberra take on Melbourne Victory. Brisbane against Adelaide. Anything else happening before we get into your tips? What's happening with your mob, Sherwin?
What mob?
With your local mob.
Where are you playing this year, by the way?
You sound like some sort of club hole.
Where are you this season?
Gunlopp City this year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That was a good shift from Olympic.
Their state team drew Bayswater in the Australia Cup,
Yes.
so that's going to be a big.
Is that up at Aluka?
A big piss up at Aluka.
Yeah, right.
I would say, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's actually shapes to be quite a tasty cup game.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Looking forward to that. A-League round 26, final day, Friday night. I'll get some tips going in the table. MacArthur v Wellington.
Draw.
Yep.
Draw.
Yep. Both teams with the queue in the rack already. Maybe you're already on pissy holidays. Saturday, Newcastle Central Coast.
Mariners.
I think the Mariners.
Yeah, Newcastle's won. I think
do you get a bit of a
Mariners.
hangover? I don't know.
Mariners has come out double-barreled and they'll spoil the party.
And Newcastle get a week off, right? Is that still how
So,
it works in
so
finals?
it'll go
so,
into elimination and then two-legged semis.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just go Mariners just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, I think Mariners.
They're not going to win, but...
Two all draw.
Two-all draw. Western Sydney Wanderers v Melbourne Victory.
It's got to be your mob, surely. Donna.
Yeah, Melbourne Victory on that one.
Yeah, Victory.
Saturday night, 10 to 8 kickoff.
This keeps getting later. You said it was 7:45
It is
last week.
7:45. It's
And now it's
7:45.
7:50.
It's going to be 8 o'clock.
7:45.
It's too late.
It's not.
It is.
We're on
considering we
La
have
Liga
kids.
time now. There's no more kids
It's
allowed,
7,
all right?
it's
They
7.
should all go to bed and let the adults deal with the
Considering
football
the
on Saturday
season
night.
starts for all the mini roos this weekend, all of them start some 8 o'clock kickoffs, and they've decided to throw in a 7:45 game on a freaking Saturday night.
Knuckleheads.
No, it's good. It's good. Should be more of it. I love it.
I'm going to say a draw because neither team impressed me.
Draw.
I
Be
think.
optimistic.
I
No,
think Perth. I'm going with Perth.
Yeah, my heart says
Don't do that. Your cold heart.
they'll win. There'll be send-offs. There'll be tears. There'll be all sorts. There'll be people booted out the shed for having no shirts on. It'd be a
The whole
great
stadium.
Saturday night. But my head says a draw. So I'll go with the heart this week. Fuck it. It's the last game. Let's be optimistic.
Yeah.
We're going to roll them 3-1.
Well, yeah, I'm with Perth this week
Yeah.
as well. Sydney v Auckland.
I'm going to... a draw. I think.
Auckland can still balls up second spot, can't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Funny if that happened, but I think they'll draw. And then Adelaide won't beat City.
So we could actually see a derby elimination,
Possibly.
Melbourne derby elimination,
Yep.
the following week if things.
Sydney should be beat. I think Sydney they'll get up.
So
I'm going draw, but then I'm thinking Adelaide will beat City.
Adelaide beats City.
Just for...
It doesn't.
Nah, City 4 wins in a row.
So the only thing that can really move now is
I hate them both,
second
so I
to
don't care.
sixth.
That's fair.
What's
Good to
that?
know.
Everything can move between second and sixth.
Yeah, correct. It's
Yeah.
locked in, but anyone can go.
So if
all the
Auckland
results.
lose and Adelaide win, Adelaide will go through in second spot.
Correct.
Sydney can also, or maybe not on goal difference.
They don't score enough
Um,
goals.
No, they're five behind.
Jeez. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sydney 1-0 and then probably City for me.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I don't know if they got the.
Wish neither of them.
Have Auckland just got the wobbles?
Yes, got to be at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sydney at home. Yeah. And finally, Melbourne City v Adelaide.
I said Adelaide,
City.
just to pick someone.
Draw.
But I hope they
Hope they
both
both
go
lose.
down to
Sure.
9 men and both lose.
Yeah, I'd probably go. I'd probably go draw as well. Righto. Final thoughts. Anything else going on, ladies and gents?
This has been one of the lowest scoring A-League seasons in recent memory.
Hey,
Yeah,
has it?
it has been.
Really?
Is that
So-
a good thing?
No,
Do we see that as a good thing or a bad thing?
no, it's a crap
It's called
thing.
boring.
Crap. There's no reason to go to the games. No, because we've not seen a similar season in terms of goals scored since the 2019 and
But does that
20
mean
season.
defensively sides are better?
No, I think sides are poorer going forward.
Okay.
So, and I think you've lost a lot of quality, and I think the way that teams attack is just very brain dead. And I just think what we've seen in the past, I'm not saying it's been great attacking football, but I think you've seen sides that have been able to score more and create more and just play with a bit more risk.
Yep.
And I think we need more Newcastle rather than Dower. So,
Yep. No, fair
Yeah.
enough.
We have the MGP next Tuesday, so everyone
MGP,
send through
blockbuster.
your...
Looking forward to that.
Your
Yeah,
picks.
just a big reminder, we will be recording on the Monday. So, look out for that on Monday evening, the podcast next week rather
Yes.
than the Tuesday.
Yep.
So we won't have any insights from the MGP. We can't see if
Predictions,
Franklin
though. We
gets
can have
pissed
predictions.
up
We can have
and
predictions.
kicked out. Oh, we can have
We've done
predictions.
we put in our votes, did we not?
yes.
Did you vote? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you put your vote in? Did you get sent the link to vote for your MGP?
Yeah, probably.
Did
Wasn't
you
sent the link, wasn't invited.
Oh, that's fine. Shit.
Whoopsie.
And you're not bitter at all.
Perth Glory.
Where's my invite?
So I think I got invited 1 year.
Yeah, you were there.
Once. I went once.
I remember. Was that Optus?
Yeah,
Or was that the NPL?
No, I went. No, I went.
No,
I
you
went
did.
one.
I remember
went
you
one-
being
I went
there.
once. I went once. Yeah.
Back in the
All
day.
right.
Yeah.
Time to wrap things up. Thank you, Donna, Neil, James. Big thank you to ID Athletic. Don't forget to download the latest football catalogue, idathletic.com. And a big thanks to Dino Djurbic and the team at Trio Homes. If you're looking to build, redesign or renovate, triohomes.com.au. Enjoy your football over the weekend and we'll catch you next week for more. You've been on the Far Post Perth podcast.